So I met Rusty in 2007 when I killed a deer and I needed it scored, and Rusty was an official scorer, and I went and met him and his dad. And it was very clear to me that Rusty was a dead serious whitetail bow hunter. And you'll get a text message from Rusty, and there'll be a preface to it, and it'll be like, Clay, I'm gonna show you something, and you can't show this to a soul. And I mean, you think he's about to confess to like some crime, you know? And it's this picture of this like 140-inch deer. He thinks about him 365 days a year.
It's the late season, early December to be exact, and I'm hunting some public land with my old buddy Rusty Johnson in the Ozarks. This area isn't known for great whitetail hunting, but I've found the palette of difficulty is a great canvas to paint a picture of fanaticism. And that is Rusty. And we just love the Ozarks.
I'm on public land in Arkansas. It's late November. I hadn't hunted this place in over 15 years, and I hadn't even been back here since probably 2005. I didn't hunt this morning. I drove around, kind of began to remember this place again. This is kind of like coming to your ancestral homeland and hunting after you've been gone for a long time. Because this is where I cut my teeth bow hunting on my own. I'm gonna be hunting here for 5 days with Rusty Johnson. It's gonna be a fun week. There was an Ozark philosopher that once said, he talked about the Rockies being grand and majestic, but he described the Ozarks as intimate. And he said, if you could see across a big holler to the other side and see a knob, you could probably walk there in a day. In most places in the Rockies, you see places that you'll never go to. And we just came from that knob right over there. So we scouted up there, came all the way across here. So the Ozarks are intimate. 48 degrees, gonna get to 70 degrees today. Walking in over a mile, saw some deer last night back in there. Gonna maybe pull one out of there today, we'll see. Man, there's this little overhang right here, and there's probably 8 or 10 feet you could get back under this bluff. The first indigenous people that came to the Ozarks about 12,000 years ago, they were bluff dwellers, and they used a lot of these bluff shelters because of this limestone. And they tell me that these little shelters like this, most of them probably have evidence of human camps. Just over 10,000 years of occupation. Somebody would have just been rambling around here, needed a place to stay, crawled up under there, made a fire.
Just to be clear, it's illegal to pick up artifacts on public land, but it sure is fun to think about what happened.
This is the first morning of our hunt. We hunted yesterday afternoon. It's warm. It's warm, really warm. 48 degrees. But down low, there's a frost. If we don't see any deer this morning, we're gonna move spots. I will shoot any deer that walks by that's legal, other than a small buck. Don't move, is it go? Yeah. Meh. Meh. I grew up shooting every legal deer I saw with a bow and arrow on public land. First deer, the first hunting I ever did was on public land, so I'm pumped to shoot one like that today. It's been about 2 hours since I shot that deer. I shot it a little bit far back, so gave it 2 hours and just gonna go trail it. I'm hoping it's just down in this draw. Luckily the draw goes a long ways and it's barely open, so I think we'll be able to find it pretty easy. It's got a pretty good sheen of blood on it. Yeah, there's blood. She jumped this log. Yeah, it's kind of liver blood, man. That's good. That deer, I don't know, ran 100 yards, probably less, probably 100 yards total. Ran right down the bottom of the ditch. We thought of 1,000 reasons why that wasn't a good shot. Man. You know what? I love shooting doe deer on public land. Man, my dad, Gary Newcomb, had the more adventure in a man's lifetime than he should have, killing doe deer and small bucks on public land. Thrilled, absolutely thrilled. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Boy. My old buddy James Lawrence, his grandmother taught him how to carry out a deer, not drag it, carry it out. We're over a mile from the truck, and what she called this method was shock pouching. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the lower leg bone and hoof from all 4 feet. We're gonna leave the dew claws, which is very important. James's grandma emphasized that. And you'll be left with 4 flaps of skin with dew claws. And then you take the front right and tie it in a square knot to the back left flap. And then take the front left flap and tie it to the back right flap. And essentially you make backpack straps. And you get that deer on your back and you can kind of hunch forward just a little bit. And a grown man can, James Lawrence has carried out mature Arkansas bucks, which, probably gonna weigh 150 to 160 pounds dressed, 5 miles out to his truck back in the day. If I'm in a hurry, I can usually get a deer shock pouched in about 12 minutes. So it doesn't have to take you all day. Now see, here's Rusty Johnson's problem. Rusty's so hung up on these big deer that he has overlooked the joy of the whitetail doe. And then you come in here and just join out this guy just like that. So I'm going to take the front left to the back right, and you just tie them in a knot. And you take the front right, back left, tie them in a knot, just like that. You get down right beside it, put a backpack strap on, stand up. Anytime you're doing this on public land, you're gonna wanna put on a little bit of orange. The Ozarks are just characterized by steep, rugged, karst, limestone-y ground. And a person just loves something when it's their home. Like, you might come here and be unimpressed, but there's something deep inside of a human that loves home. And it's just, I could go kill deer anywhere in the country, kill bigger deer, kill more deer, and they don't mean as much to me as coming here on public land and killing a doe deer. It doesn't even make sense, but it's true. And in the way that we as humans identify these like senses of home is through imagery and smells and senses. And so when I'm back in here and seeing these limestone bluffs and these spring-fed valleys, and it just feels good, man. It feels right. Feels like where I'm supposed to be. Rusty, the first time that I met you was when you scored that deer for me. 2007. I'd never killed a real big deer before. Killed a big deer, wanted to have it scored, looked up Pope and Young score on the internet, found you, called you.
You got lucky, killed a big deer.
I did.
And we got to meet.
Yeah. You know, you're one of the guys that every fall I'm planning on getting in touch with you for the full season. I don't know, the way you hunt deer just makes sense to me, which is just grind it out and hunt. And we do share that. I mean, I love to just hunt.
Yeah, I do too.
And I'll go sit in the same place for 3 days, daylight till dark, not see deer, and be as excited the fourth day.
A lot of people give me a hard time about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But even in this camp here this week, you know,
we're not giving you a hard time, Rusty.
But no, I mean, yeah, grinding it out, being in the stand. I mean, I just love being out there, you know, regardless if I'm seeing anything or not.
This is the first time we've really gotten together and hunted. But you have been a feature of my fall for the last 14 years. And then, luckily, I was able to teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot from you, Clay.
Well, it's afternoon of December the 1st. We've been hunting some public ground the entire hunt, but we got some permission on some private, and so that's why we're wearing orange this evening. Arkansas gun season's open, but we're going to be bow hunting, so we're going to try to shoot a doe this evening. If a nice buck walks out, we're going to try to shoot him also, but we're excited about this evening. They say there's a lot of deer on this property, so we'll find out here in just a little bit. Can't see my pen.
Two nights in a row, full draw on a 140-inch buck.
No way.
He's coming out late, but
How many deer did you see before him?
we saw 5 does and 1 buck.
He just was walking down the
He
fence
came
line.
out about the same place the does did. It's about halfway. We went a little bit too far.
Yeah.
It's about halfway where we were set up last night and where we were set up tonight. So here's the kicker to the story. I left my grunt call here, forgot it.
Oh no. Come on, Rusty.
I really believe the way he
Veteran.
came in last night to that grunt, if I'd have had it, I almost got down and come back and come and got it. I really
Early in
believe
the
he would've-
afternoon.
Yeah. Well, he kept coming, but he was about 50 yards from the fence line.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he cleared the limb, and I went ahead and drew back. And by this time, it was the same as last night. I could not get the pin in the beat
Doggone
side. I honestly think we can get him tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think we can. He's good. Yeah.
Let's get him tomorrow.
We think we can get him.
We got 1 day left, man. We've seen deer over there where we're going. It's such a goofy spot. It's just on the edge of this field, but we've seen deer there every morning, every evening, within 40 yards of this little clump of trees.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit over there just right in the wide open. Now, you gonna shoot a doe or you gonna wait for that big buck to come back?
I'm going to shoot a doe first, because probably
she
a doe
comes
will
out
come
early?
out first, and then we'll start stacking the bucks up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck. We got to do it, man.
Yep.
This week has been so stinking weird.
It's
It's
strange.
almost got to be breaking some kind of records for it to be 76 degrees
It's
December the 2nd. I figured we'd be struggling with like tough cold weather
I
hunting.
brought hot hands,
Yeah, man.
expecting cold weather.
This has been for a whitetail deer hunt, this is about as tough as it gets.
It is tough.
We are on our last set of the hunt. The excitement in the camp is unbelievable right now. I've seen a really good buck in this spot the last 2 evenings. Been in full draw on him twice. We saw him again this morning, and hopefully one of us can get a shot at him tonight.
We've changed spots again. We've seen a bunch of deer coming out on this field edge right here. There's a bunch of green orchard grass, and it's just real green in the stretch, about 80, 90 yards right here. And we just been seeing deer pound this edge. And it's kind of tricky to get in here, and it was kind of a rodeo getting up this huge pine tree. But we're here, it's 3 o'clock, we got 2.5 hours to sit. And man, I am gonna shoot a doe deer if I see one. And I'm gonna be thrilled to kill it if I do. Back. That was about as nerve-wracking a whitetail stare down, stand down you'll ever have. Hey, that deer's coming back. I'm gonna shoot it when it's right down here.
After I shot the first doe, the second doe ended up coming back in about 30 minutes later, and I had plenty of tags.
Back. Back. I killed a doe earlier in the week. I shot a rabbit yesterday. I killed a doe about 30 minutes ago, a doe about 5 minutes ago, and yesterday I shot my bow in the yard and put on 2 field points. So that's 6 arrows, and they're all banged up, so I had to go down and get the pass-through arrow. So I've got 1 shot left in about 45 minutes and several tags. Rusty and Jared are seeing deer all around them over there. They haven't seen that buck, but he has not come out until right at dark, both nights. So, just a minute ago, right before the end of legal shooting light, we heard a shot, a bow shot. I'm about 250 yards, 300 yards from Rusty. He could hear me shoot, and then I just heard him shoot, and there's a lighted knock stuck in the field. I see him flashing a light at me over there. I hope he killed that buck.
Well,
How'd you do, Clay?
we about ran out of arrows, man.
What the heck happened?
Is that lighted knock?
I heard it.
Yeah.
Can I look at it?
Yeah.
Is it? It didn't look like I hoped it would.
Looks pretty clean, don't it?
You missed him.
I missed her.
Okay. Okay.
I shot over.
Dang, man.
She ducked on me.
Oh, shoot. Well, I thought you shot that big buck, man.
No.
You went
We-
radio silent on me.
Yeah, we didn't see the big buck. This is
Okay.
the first evening in 3 evenings we hadn't
Yeah.
seen. I heard.
We shot 2. And we heard one go down, and the other one I hit real good. So I think she's just
Shouldn't be
down
no
the bottom
problem.
of that draw. Man, hey, it's been about the toughest week of bow hunting I can remember.
It is one of the toughest, but it's one of the best camps I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So that made up for it.
Well, we earned that deer on public land the other day. These were kind of like a little bit of a gift.
Yeah.
Deer meat tastes the same whether it's a gift or whether you worked hard for it. Man, okay, let's go track a deer.
We easily tracked my 2 does, and I had the privilege of dragging out some deer with my good buddy, old Rusty. This was one of the hottest weeks on record for this time period, which made for some tough hunting, but we had an incredible camp. Good friends, good places, and some doe deer made for a week I won't soon forget.
Trying to forget that Rusty killed a 143-inch buck on public land last week.
And passed some bucks this week.
Yeah. As we saw many gifts of throughout the text chain.
Yes.
Send it.
Send it.